Hey everyone, I have a question for you to consider. Is 32 ACP a good carry round? I got to do something while you think about the answer to that question. Okay, I'm done. Now, before you see the Keltec P32, the Beretta Tomcat, and the Guardian, the NAA Guardian in 32. You might have guessed that I say the answer is yes. Now, I know some of you thinking it's an underpowered round. Well, it's not as powerful as some other rounds. I think that kind of goes without saying. I think we all know that. But I'm also going to repeat myself from other videos saying that think of it this way. Most of the time, well, I shouldn't say most of the time, but we'll probably never need to use whatever firearm we carry. That's a great thing. Um, if we do and ever it does need to be drawn, chances are that the sight of it will possibly cause the person who's doing a bad thing to soil themselves and hopefully run away. If it does need to be used, it is a gun. It can do damage if need be against a violent offender. And most of the time, from what I've heard, most self-defense shootings require 3 to 4 rounds. These carry around 7 or 8, if I'm not mistaken. So I think it's definitely up to the task. Now, some people might say, well, what about a 380? 380, I think these typically get about 125 foot-pounds of energy. I believe the 380 is typically around like 175 foot-pounds of energy. And of course, that all varies according to um, barrel length, what type of round you're using. But I think we'd pretty much agree that barrel lengths are pretty much similar. And the types of loadings that you'd put for either 32 or 380 are fairly consistent. It's not something like, let's say, a 44 Magnum where you can have it loaded kind of light or really really like a buffalo bore type thing. So kind of what you get with the 32 is what you get, and the same kind of goes for 380. My rationale for preferring, oh, and by the way, let me tell you, you might be wondering why I don't have any 380s, because I don't have any. I sold them all. I had a Beretta Pico, a Taurus TCP, and a Ruger LCP1. I got rid of all of them because I hated them with an incredible passion. Now, I don't have a problem with the caliber of 380. I have a problem with the types of handguns they stick the 380 into. Um, now, all three guns that I just mentioned to you were polymer wonders. I kind of wonder if I had a handgun kind of like this Tomcat that was chambered in 380, if I would probably like it. And yeah, I think there's a chance that I might. That maybe that extra 4 or 5 ounces of weight from having a steel frame or an aluminum frame would have added something to it. That's why I would be very curious to try like a Kimber Micro in 380, because I think that might actually be a decent handgun to shoot because it's got a little extra weight to it. But as far as the small plastic ones, I think they suck. I mean, they really, really suck. Really, 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 really suck. Now, I know some people can shoot them well. I'm not one of those people. I don't shoot them well. The 32 I'm fine with, 22 I'm fine with, 9mm, 40, 10, I'm fine with all of them. Not fine with the 380. It's just that we don't really get along very well. And again, it's a 380 pistol, it's not the 380 round, because I'm thinking something like this, or with the Kimber Micro, something of that nature, I'd be okay with. But a lot of people point to the problems with 32, and with the biggest one being um, the power. Well, everything's a trade-off. No matter what you carry, it's a trade-off. If you were going to try and carry something kind of outlandish like a 50 AE, well, you got a heck of a lot of power there. Of course, you also have a ton of recoil, and it's so heavy it'll probably make your pants fall down. These have pretty light recoil, and your belt will stay where it needs to be. Those are good things. With some larger guns, might be a little more difficult to conceal, or there might be times when you can't really change your clothing to fit what you're carrying. These guys, you can put them in a pocket, you can put them in a small waist holster, a sport coat pocket. They're really easy to conceal. Good stuff right there. Um, Now, some people might also say, well, they're not effective because of the whole lack of energy. Now, it like I said, it's true. I mean, most people would say you shouldn't use less than a 9 millimeter. Others would say you shouldn't use less than a 380. And like I had said earlier, they probably have about 50 foot-pounds less on average than your typical 380. Probably about 175, 180 to like 125, 130. So, there is a pretty good size difference there. My question is, how much does it matter? With me, for example, if they're both excellent for concealed carry. They're both light. They both have a lot of good things going for them. Talking about 32 versus 380, but with the 32, it reminds me of one of my former careers as a real estate agent, and one of the most popular slogans in real estate was location, location, location. And I feel like I could locate a shot much, much better, especially under duress, with the 32. Because, like I said, the 380, it's snappy. Some of you could probably fire it just as well as any other gun, and you know what? Good for you. I'm not real good shooting it. I don't know. Part of it might be my hands are kind of big. I don't know. I'm not real good at shooting it. One of these, I'm pretty comfortable shooting, to be honest with you. Um, like I said, the big thing is shot placement. And I would rather shoot something that I feel pretty good about getting my shots on target. And to me, the 32 is perfect for that. So, you're getting your shot on target, which is pretty easy to do. Recoil is very, very light, so follow-up shots are pretty good. Unlike certain handguns, which will be kind of snappy, 380s, I'm looking at you, and might make follow-up shots a little more difficult. So yeah, you're trading off a little power, but you're getting faster follow-up shots, and you're getting a handgun that's a lot easier to fire, and probably just as easy, and in some cases even a little bit easier to conceal than a lot of 380s. That's pretty good to me. Another thing is, you might have noticed that 32 is smaller than a 38. I kid you not. So sometimes you'll actually pick up an extra round of capacity. It's not a bad thing. The only bad thing is about 32 is sometimes it's a little tougher to find ammunition, and it's a little tougher to find certain loadings for it. But from what I've seen, the 32 hollow points, when you find them, really aren't that great. They actually kind of turn into ball ammo anyway most of the time. They don't expand. I did hear decent things about the Hornady rounds. I'm not sure the exact type of Hornady rounds, but I think they only make one, to be honest with you. But yeah, they're pretty good. And the other thing too is, we're talking about primary concealed carry, but you know what? Let's say you carry a 9 millimeter. You love your 9 millimeter. Great, carry a 9 millimeter. But if you're going to carry a backup gun, do you really want to carry another 9 millimeter? Do you really want to have a super snappy 380? Why not get something like this that's a little bit lighter, has as much or more capacity? I mean, it kind of makes sense. If you had to put something on your ankle, wouldn't you rather have something like this than, let's say, a Glock 26? I have a Glock 26. Love my Glock 26. For me, it's a primary carry when I do carry it. But I wouldn't want to carry it on my ankle. I tried that. Didn't like it. I kind of felt, I've never been on house arrest, but I kind of think that's what it would feel like. You kind of have this big blocky double stack magazine hanging off your leg. Not for me. No, I'd rather have something like one of these guys. You know, it's funny because last time I was at the gun shop, um, I was checking out some C camps that they had, and for those of you who don't know, you might be able to notice that this is probably the smallest one on the table, I would think. Let's see. Is this the smallest guy on the table? Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, these have all been safety checked. None of them have their magazines on them. But this is even smaller than the P32. And the C camp that they had, there were actually two C camps, were smaller than these. I really wanted one of those C camps. I have to get one in the collection one of these days. Unfortunately, they've gone up to like $500, so I'm hoping to get one used. Maybe get it for like south of 400. Really like that. But I just kind of wanted to bring this up to you because it's funny, because sometimes I will see people, they're fine with using, say, 22, but then they totally overlook the 32 the 32 option. And I got to tell you, I also like 22. I'm kind of crazy like that. But the 32 option is also good because for those of you who are a little nervous about using a rimfire round, don't forget 32 is little, but it is in fact a center fire round. Um, so I mean that's another thing to like. You don't have to worry that you're going to have some type of a malfunction or more likely to have a malfunction. So check out these 32s. Um, I got to tell you, my favorite probably the Beretta. If you had to pick one of them, but then again, I am super, super, super biased because I love Beretta. So don't pay too much attention to that. They're all pretty good. The Guardian built like a tank. The Keltec, you could forget that it's in your pocket. It's so light and thin and stuff. So, and like I said, they're really compared to a 380, they're really pleasant to shoot. So if you see something at your local store, maybe you can get something cheaper. Um, check them out. Like these Tomcats, I'm seeing these going for like low 500s lately. I was really lucky. A few years ago, I picked this up brand new on Gunbroker for like 350, I think, or 360. The Guardians go for four something now, I believe. I picked this up used recently. You might remember that video. That one was, I think I paid like 225 for this. And this Keltec, these were going again a couple of years ago. I haven't seen one for sale in a long time, new. But these Keltecs were going for like 230, 240, and I bought this one brand new again, Gunbroker for like 140. So I am a bargain shopper, and I get some great deals. So um, don't know if those kind of deals are around for these two anymore because of the way situations are going. But definitely look around and try one out. If you have a friend that has a 32, try a 32. Maybe the range where you shoot has one. Um, it's a really, really good concealed carry option. And like I said, I wouldn't be totally hung up on power. My big thing would be shot placement. And then like I said, there's a lot of things that lead up to having to rely on the shot placement, such as keeping yourself out of bad situations or dangerous situations. And then, like I said, the very fact that you're presenting a firearm, if need be, in a defensive situation might just be enough. And like I said, I don't feel outgunned or anything when I have something like this. And even if you do, great backup option. So that's enough of me singing the praises of 32 ACP. I don't think John Browning's going to come over here and give me a big thank you and a handshake. So I will let you go. If you like this video and videos like this, I would appreciate a subscription. If you hit that subscribe button and also the thumbs up button. I hope all of you, especially you small caliber fans, have a good night. See ya.